Somebody sing an intro.
Okay, these are instructions for the 2025 Delaware County Fair, Democratic booth.
What?
Lisa, do you want to start with the how do you get into the fair?
Rosie.
Sure. First, thank you everybody who's volunteered to do this. Like without you, this thing doesn't happen. Thank you. Getting to the fair, the first off, in the email with the link to this Zoom that you got initially and then again on Wednesday, but particularly today, Wednesday, there was an attachment, a PDF attachment that has instructions that are written. It's a draft, but it's pretty close to accurate. I'll send a revised one before we go, but look at it. It gives pretty much all the instructions you'll need, but I'll go through some of them just briefly here. The first thing you will do is go to the music shop in Walton. It's not that far from the fair. That's where we have 6 week-long passes that we're letting our staffers borrow. The notion is there shouldn't be any more than 3 passes taken at a time. We may have to fudge that depending on certain shifts. But what you do is go pick up your pass from there. You drive to the fair. There's instructions for how to get there. As you're driving to the fair, you're going to see all these signs for like parking here, and people asking you for like however much money. Ignore it. The parking's free. Go to the fair. Park there. Remember where you park because it's enormous and it's really easy to lose track of where you are. Remember what number you're at, what row you're at, and then go to the entrance, and that's where you'll give your pass. There's a map in the PDF that we're sending you that shows where the commercial tent is in the fair. You'll go to the commercial tent, and our booth tends to be somewhere in the middle, over on I always think of it as the right. You can't miss it. It's going to have like Democratic stuff all over it. And once you're there, you would be representing, you will be the face of the Democratic Committee, but you don't have to speak for the Democratic Committee. You're helping people get information. So what I've tended to do, people tend to do, you watch people who walk by, and if they're ignoring you, just ignore them. But if somebody sort of pauses, looks, smiles, seems interested, start a conversation. And a good conversation opener is, "Hi, do you vote in Delaware County, or do you live in Delaware County?" And that starts a conversation that'll help them know. You can help them know their candidates and their towns and all that other stuff. And at this point, would this make sense to turn it over to you, Mary and Jim, since you guys put together you've got our new booth design, which is kind of exciting.
It is. We have made some changes. We looked at the way the old booth worked, and if you all have been a part of this, you end up sitting behind a 6-foot folding table that's loaded with information. So much so that you can't really see any of it at times. But so what we've done is we're inviting people into the booth instead of having a table in front. I just did a quick little. This is actually a sketch that is to scale. You can see this would be the back wall here, and in the center of the back wall, well, the back wall is a drapery. We've got a blue and white striped drapery, Democrat blue, and in the middle of it is a suspended television right here, which we're trying to figure out exactly how we're going to use that, but that's it. And then the side walls, one side wall, we're going to have the famous quilt will be hanging there against a white backdrop, and on the other side we have another white backdrop with signs. Hopefully some signs for candidates. The only one we have right now actually is Dan, but our banner of Delaware County Democrats will be there, and assorted media like that. Then on the back counter here, this is actually folding tables. There's 2 18-inch deep folding tables, and that's where we have brochure holders that have a lot of the information. Mary and I spent part of today folding up little pieces of paper to be in there. We have maps of various districts. We have what else do we have, Mary? I've forgotten all of it.
Voter registration, where to vote, how to register, absentee ballot. You mentioned the district maps. We have one brochure from Delhi with the candidates. We were hoping for more, but we do have one.
We were enthusiastic about it to begin with, and we bought 12 brochure holders, but one brochure.
And then I think also the election calendar, right? From the Board of Elections.
Is that one of the things that you sent to us, Lisa?
No, that would be something you could get from the Board of Elections, and it lets people know dates for like absentee ballots and that sort of thing.
Huh.
Okay, well,
is this something we could, it'd be like on an 8.5 by 11 that we could fold up? Okay.
It can actually be downloaded from the Board of Elections.
Okay.
we'll do that.
I can even send it to you if you don't have yeah. And then I think second homeowner sheet.
We've got that. We have that one.
Right. Because there are some people who it's important for staffers to know. There are some people who live in the county or they'll have a second home in the county, but they say they don't vote here. And that is an opening for a conversation about, have you ever thought about changing your registration to up here? Because up here, rather than downstate, your vote can mean more. And the second homeowner vote where it counts flyer gives them all the information they would need to make that decision.
Yeah, we have that. The other thing we have are the donation forms that have to be filled out. That's really important. Kim, do you want to describe what needs to be done with that if someone makes a donation?
Yes, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just that people cannot give us a $5 bill without filling out one of those forms. We can do nothing with them. Accused of fraud, give it back. If they don't want to complete that form, which just asks for their name and address, and they promise various things, it's not that complicated, but it does take a minute or two to do it. And I just can't emphasize enough, don't take it if they don't fill out the card or fill out the form. So that's pretty straightforward. And by the way, a quick note, the Board of Elections, how to register to vote, which also has the QR code, so they can register to vote right when they're standing at the booth. And it also has a line on it, which we write on it, and it simply says, the last day to register is such and such a date. It's 10 days before the election. But we can actually write that in. They have a blank space for us to write that in. And those are, I think, the key things. But it has been great in the past. We have had some people register to vote at the booth, which was really cool.
That's great. We're also going to have a QR code on the wall for direct access to DCDC website. Speaking of codes. While we're on the subject of donations, we also have those water bottles, quite a few of them out in the storage. Can we give those away as a gift to those that donate?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, good. Those will be under the counter also, probably.
That is their purpose. That is the purpose of those.
I thought we were hoarding them for some reason.
No, they were.
We just got an awful lot of them because there was a minimum order and there's just gazillions of them.
Any free giveaways, anything like that from the shed can be used as gifts.
Cool. One thing I didn't mention when we were looking at this, we have, I can't see it from where I am. These are bar height tables in the middle, the round. These are two tables that we have that are like a 24-inch diameter. With a couple of bar stools at each one. So it's going to be a lot more comfortable talking to somebody pretty much at eye level as opposed to somebody sitting in a chair behind a big table. We're all used to sitting at bars and talking to people, right?
Shauna.
Yeah, did you say that the QR code for the BOE is also going to be displayed on their back wall?
I think that would be a good idea, don't you,
Yeah,
Mary?
so that they could go right up there and register.
Mhm.
We have a stamp we're gonna put on, we have business cards from the
Oh,
DC.
that's right.
We'll have a stamp for the Board of Elections, and then we can print that out too. That'd be easy. And,
Because if they are registering, they just need to see it, and then they really can do a lot on their own. So we want
Sure.
sort of them out of the way.
Cool.
And when people, if you're probably not getting a lot of people making donations. Who the heck knows? It's a weird year. But when they ask to make a donation and you ask for that information from them, explain to them it's not something we're asking them for. The Board of Elections requires us to
Right.
get that information. We can't accept it without that. We have to because we have to report everything to the Board of Elections.
the other thing that'll be displayed is a volunteer sign-up sheet. And I can't think of anything else.
The only other thing I think that changed is we did have a flip chart in the past that was quite cumbersome, and I know that the few times that I was there, we couldn't quite figure out how to find people. So we're going to put that in a 3-ring binder instead, and have it available so people can access it.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? How about closing up? Kim, do you want to do that part? Closing for the day? You're,
There you go.
But first, I want to ask, what was on that flip chart, or what's going to be in the 3?
I think it was if somebody questioned where they, who's the candidate in my area or something. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
It was kind of complicated.
I can tell you, there was
Yeah,
one flip
Lisa
chart
made
that
them,
had
so-
all of the district maps. There was one that had voter information, like, the calendar, the voting calendar. There was one that had all
remember
the
that.
candidates. I'm trying to think. There was one I think that may have had events coming events. Whatever you feel of that is important. I think it probably mostly the candidates' election dates and maybe district maps, although they're not as crucial this year with the local election. I think the one thing that everybody should know as a staffer, no matter what town somebody is in Delaware County, they do have a Democratic candidate on their ballot. Gary Rosa is running for family court judge throughout Delaware County. So there's at least one Democrat, no matter where you are, that you can vote for this coming election.
oh, I totally forgot. We have the list of Democrat endorsed candidates. We have 31 people on that list, and that will be printed out.
Is that a handout or is that a sign?
It's
Mary?
going to be a handout. It's going to be in
Yeah,
one
I
of the
think a handout.
brochure display things. Okay, Kim, who wants to do how to close up?
Well, I want to say a couple of things about passes, etc., and just everyone in the instructions book, what do we call the staffer handbook, is my phone number, and I am available at all times. Just text me, and I can be there. I can help in any way, or if an issue comes up, then certainly, let me know. The other thing about the passes is that on some days if there will not be enough passes in the basket because of the number of people who will be at the booth. And so in those cases, what we do is we basically have, and it works out nicely for some people because they don't have to go all the way back to the music house to drop off their pass. They just hand it to somebody outside the gate, like a handoff. But these things all change during the week. In other words, we kind of stay loose. And I was mentioning before, Wendy's suggestion that if somebody is new, we should have somebody to greet them and walk them in. And one of the nice things is that we've got so far, every day is staffed by someone relatively new and someone who is experienced. So I highly recommend that whatever day you're staffing on, share your texts, share your phone numbers so that, as things go on, or if you need help, or if you get lost or whatever, you at least have somebody directly, your partner to call. But please, that's the reason I'll be available all week. And please don't hesitate to text me. That's all.
Okay, that's important.
Quick question there. Could we get an update of this list, the staffing list that has telephones on it?
Sure.
Because
Um,
I don't have, I don't know.
I don't know that I have everybody's telephone, so maybe that's a thing for everybody to let me know what I should list as your telephone number.
Yeah, good point. Wendy, you're muted.
I just unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay. How could we arrange, like, not everybody that's going to staff is at this meeting, so how do we arrange for the more experienced people to meet the others? I mean, how do we tell them that we're asking them to do that if they're not at this meeting?
Well, this is being recorded.
Not everyone's going to look at a recording. I mean, I don't know.
Well, if their phone number is there,
I'm being realistic, Kathleen.
Then they just have on-the-job training with their partner.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
There's somebody scheduled with them and they'll say, hey, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Or when they say, what the hell are we supposed to be doing?
No, I'm more worried about them finding the booth. And
It's all in the PDF that was
I know.
attached to the email that was sent to everybody. And,
It's just that-
if people have questions, they should ask.
okay. No, because
That's also in the PDF and in the email that was sent.
I
you know.
read it. I
well,
know.
Good. It's a pretty small fair, and there are actually quite a few information booths around.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Because, like I said, Franklin, we have 6 volunteers, 5 who have never volunteered before. And like Charlie over here. Thank you so much, Charlie. And so, I want to keep them happy. That's all.
We do too.
Oh, Wendy, thank you.
Wendy,
Keeping
Wendy,
somebody.
I'm more than happy to greet them. I'm more than happy to come down, particularly those new Franklin folks, and escort them in. So
Okay.
any way that works, we have option. But I love the idea of having phone numbers on the staffing schedule itself. I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
I have a question about setup, and maybe this isn't the right forum, but how do we get in on Sunday? Do we?
There's you don't need a pass. They just let you in.
You
Okay.
just drive on in.
Okay.
And are you planning to put up the booth on Saturday?
No,
Or
I'll
put up the frame.
Oh, yeah, I'm not. I think Joseph is. I'll be in Rochester.
In other words, when we talked to Steve, for example, when I did it last, we did it on Saturday. So then the Sunday group basically, did that, but we put
Yeah,
up the
Mary,
frame on Saturday.
do you recall, Mary? I think Joseph said he was doing it on Saturday.
Yeah.
No, I heard him say Sunday, but I might have heard wrong.
Oh,
I
could
heard
be.
Saturday.
You heard
Whatever.
Saturday? Oh, great.
What I'm saying is that on both Saturday and Sunday, you can just walk in, set up.
Okay.
So whenever works well for
They're setting up now. I mean, they've got vendors out there
Mhm.
now.
Just, I'm going to go out to the storage shed, whatever it's called, and I'm going to label everything that we need brought that I'm aware of, and I'll label it and bring it as far as I can forward, and then Kim, are you picking up the stuff and bringing it out, or is
Well,
Joseph?
can I interrupt and say some of this is stuff we can discuss after the staffer
Sure.
meeting?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, sorry.
The thing I would say about closing up, I don't know that we need to do anything particular in closing up other than returning the passes to the spot that's mentioned in the instructions, and also taking, if there are any donations, take it with you, and we'll figure out a way to get that money and the donation form to our treasurer. Either you would do it through your town chair or contact me and we'll figure out a way to get it to the treasurer. I just don't want to leave money at the booth.
Right. I
Turn
think
off the
we
TV.
talked I think we should talk briefly if we have any difficult customers, how to deal with that, how to not engage with them, how to say, what about those Mets? You know, how to really.
Right. There's a page on the instruction sheet that explains that. I'll go through it briefly. We don't get many bad actors, but we get some, and they tend to fall into three different categories. There are people who are categorized as sort of drive-by snarkers. They'll just like say something snarky and keep going, and you just ignore them. Then there are some people who will come over and will be upset and agitated, but they're actually looking for information. Like they're actually trying to get information. So you try to determine what it is what information you can get to them, and resolve that. And then there's some people who just want to get into an argument. And as soon as you figure out that's going on, there are ways to get out of it, saying, hey, is there anything I can say to you that's going to change your mind? And if they say no, you say, well, there's nothing you're going to say to me that's going to change my mind. It's a beautiful day. Enjoy the fair. Nice seeing you. And that usually is enough for them to go on, because they realize they're not going to get their yayas out of contacting, talking to you. Actually, there's a fourth category. If somebody comes to the booth and makes you feel uncomfortable, if you think that they're like potentially going to be a serious problem, we have the phone number for the county sheriff in the instruction manual. The county sheriff is actually in the commercial tent. So either you email them, or either call them, or if you can't get them, dial 911. That's what. Don't wait until it becomes a problem. Do it when you think it might be a problem, because what the sheriff said to us is, we'd rather arrive early to something that isn't a problem than late to something that is. And they've been very terrific in the past. So, Kim, your hand is up because you have experience.
I think we might,
Yes.
I think we might actually end up with a fair amount of comments, candidates or elected candidates. We heard, people saying, why aren't they doing something? Why aren't they doing something? And frankly, how can anybody do anything right now? But I think it's important for us to be supportive of our elected candidates. We've all heard the saying that Democrats tend to eat their young, and we just have to be careful about that. We just have to be careful. Try to be upbeat. I frankly think that the people that I know of that are elected Democrats are doing a terrific job considering the circumstances. So there's that.
That's such a good point, Jim. And I would just also say, resist the urge to speak for the candidate, but you can certainly speak about why you feel strongly about a candidate.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you can direct them, if they have a problem, you can direct them to the contact numbers for the candidates, and have them talk to them directly. Yeah.
So I want to talk a bit about the negative people, non-Democrats. One of the things that I recommend, one of the reasons I like having more than one person at the booth, is take a look and check out where the sheriff's desk is. Okay, it's usually right at the end of the thing, and it's nice to go up and introduce themselves. And I found that very helpful. We had an incident that was very troubling, and they were wonderful about it. Oftentimes, our good friend Craig will come by the booth and try and give us some swag and say, see, I'm here for you. The second thing is we are usually almost directly or catty corner to the Republican booth. They have been always wonderful. They have been helpful. We have had cases where somebody starts hollering and the Republicans came over and said, you're not helping us. You're not helping us. The main problem that I found was people who were, just sort of nuts, and they weren't being aggressive, but they were being really loud, and which prevented other people from coming to the booth or feeling comfortable being there. Those are situations that I've usually had somebody else come and intervene and say, please start yelling somewhere else. I have noticed over the last few years that those incidents have increased. I just think it's just the state of the world at the moment. So just become familiar with the people there who can help you. And I think everything will go absolutely fine.
Yeah, and one thing I would add with also I found very helpful is to get your phone out and videotape them. That definitely worked in one incident I experienced. And it's great, makes for great video.
That's what we can show up on the big screen, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
campaign.
I just, when Kim was talking, I just realized we might have the opposite happen. We might have irate Democrats screaming at the Republicans. That
Mhm.
could absolutely happen this year.
Yep.
I think it might be good for us to occasionally go over to our Republican, you know, cross the aisle and offer our assistance if anyone attacks them.
Yep.
Brilliant. That's brilliant. I always tended to, it's always good to introduce yourself to the Republican, folks across the way. But that's a great idea, Kathleen. You're
I
right.
bought
Things
them cookies.
different.
I bought them cookies last year.
There you go. Be kind. It won't hurt.
Well, it was because at the Minnesota State Fair, Tim Walz he and I would go over and buy cookies and take them over to the Republican booth and hand them out. So I told him that.
Okay. I'm all for cookies. It's gonna make them.
Does that make them want to vote for him for vice president?
What's that?
Any who gives out cookies, did that make them want to vote for him?
No, but it brought a lot of smiles. He's a nice guy.
Another thought about phones. I strongly, strongly encourage you during the course of your shift to take photos of the booth, of you, people interacting with you, because we will, and then get them to us so that we can post them on social media, because those posts replicate, they help get seen. We will probably get more people seeing our booth through social media posts of your photos than who actually show up to the booth.
That's a good point, Lisa.
Kim.
The other thing that I want to mention is one of the most successful things we've had, and we'll have again, are the coloring books. Because parents will come in and the kids will just, I want to sit down and color. And the parents then have to stand around for a while and we can interact with them. I just found that was really, really, really successful.
I had some guy, I think it was last year, every time he'd walk by, he'd look at us and he'd growl and snort and shake his head. Snotty old guy. And he came by like 2 or 3 times and did that. And then one time he came by with his wife and the grandchildren. And the grandchildren were all so excited. Oh, can we color? And Grandpa said, no, you can't. And Grandma said, yes, they can. And they sat down and he just looked at me and went.
Yeah, Shauna.
Are we encouraging the selfie things again? Do we have the selfie signs?
No.
We're not doing the selfies. It's still in the instructions I saw, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing I got. It still needs some tweaking. Thank you, Shauna.
Okay.
just check.
Anybody else have any questions? I mean, does anyone have any questions? I see one in the chat. Kat, you want to ask that question?
Oh, you're muted, Kat.
Me? Are you talking me or Kat? Oh,
Okay.
You're right.
Kat Walters.
Yeah, I just wanted to,
There we go.
I wanted to make sure that and I don't want to take a whole lot more time if you need to continue with, the staffing issues. But I had sent some communication to Kathleen and Kim regarding a Constitution pipeline. I'm not sure if any of you are aware of the gas pipeline that is being revived again through New York State, central New York State, from Pennsylvania all the way out to Schoharie. Actually, Anne-Marie Gardy spoke at one of the DC rallies a number of months ago. And since then, I've been involved with Stop the Pipeline. In any case, what I was hoping is that I have a petition we are trying to do as much outreach as we possibly can to people, to folks in New York State, to make them aware of the fact that this is back. We were fortunate enough to get it stopped a number of years ago. It's back. I don't need to go into any of the particulars with you guys, but it's very much back. And currently the Williams, the contractor, the company, sent to DEC an application. It's incomplete. So there's some issues that are surrounding it. The push here really, and I'll be honest, at one point I was like, why do we have to urge Governor, Hochul to stop this, pipeline? The gist of it is that she has the power to direct DEC to deny the 401 water quality permit, which was a big issue 5 years ago. She is very much a part of it. I thought that it was an outside entity. It's not. She has control over it. So basically what I was hoping is, if it's possible, to have this petition available. It pretty much speaks for itself. The bottom has signatures. It'll be another sheet where if people want to, this isn't pressuring anyone. It's just if people want to sign the petition to her, sign their name. Also, organizations can, because it's going to Hochul, it's nice to have an address, but if they can't, I'm not going to deny. And what we'll end up doing is either delivering it to her once we've gotten a sufficient number of petitions. I generated this on my own. We're sort of just doing this. The second one is a shorter version. I'm not encouraging that because it's really more for people that know what's going on and are aware of what's happening. So that's what I'm asking. I'm hoping that there's a possibility that I can have this petition be available. I'll have a clipboard. This will be it. There'll be sign-in sheets. And that's it.
Yeah, it seems to me that that's a reasonable request, and I think it's something we can figure out a way to do it. Is this a where did everybody go? Oh, Kathleen, are you playing with this? Is this one sheet that's got a lot of signatures on the bottom, or is it individual sheets that we're mailing to the governor?
Hopefully it'll end up being individual sheets. So what I'll have is the front sheet. I've got this here. What I'll have is this sheet, and then it may have a few signatures, and then I'll have a bunch of signatures, follow-up signature sheets. I can have blanks of these in case somebody needs it, but then that will be it. It will all be self-contained. I'll have the clipboard, I'll have a pen attached to it, and everything, and this is it. I'm just bringing it up because I know that there may be people, I needed to get the okay. This doesn't necessarily have to be signed off on by DCDC. It would be great if you did, but I'm not pressuring organizations. I put that in there because we've obviously got a number of organizations that are doing the same thing. I actually tweaked my petition around Food and Water Watch, Sane Energy, a whole host of things. This is just a big deal right now. I mean, we're upstate New York. Brooklyn is experiencing another aspect of this, and there's a very good chance that could happen. But I don't want to get into it. And we don't know we do not know the outcome of. As of today, we do not know why the reasons why DEC has told Williams, the company, that the application is incomplete. We need to, hopefully we're going to be getting that answer in the next few days. Basically, it's Anne Marie. She's the powerhouse. She was the powerhouse 5 years ago. She's back being the powerhouse. If any of you heard this little munchkin speak at your rally, I unfortunately was not able to be there. She's the powerhouse and a force to be reckoned with. But, times have changed. I mean, I'll be honest, New Hampshire.
I'm sorry, Kat, we're going to have to move on, but I'm sure we can work something out. Nancy, you muted?
Okay, it's just after hearing that, I wonder, with we want this not to be a partisan issue, not just Democrats. I wonder if we can get Republicans to take some of Kat's petitions as well. Are they so adamant about it? But anyway, so it should be everybody, because once they do the gas pipelines, it's a short leap to fracking again.
Absolutely. This is directed at any resident of New York. I
Good.
already, in the town of Sydney, our town supervisor is already up in arms. I have to say he's Republican, but it is, in part,
Yeah, local.
not my backyard, but whatever. But absolutely.
Right. And they tell them the next step is fracking, which we already fought. So I think we should give
liquefaction.
some to the Republicans. But the original question I was going to ask is, I had a question on the list. It's just on Saturday morning, it's just me and Denny. Is there a third person that just isn't listed, or are we it? That's what I wondered about.
Just you guys.
Just us. 'Cause we're not
We're
experienced.
rookies, so.
Rookies. So,
I can come hang out with you, Nancy.
Oh,
That'd be
okay.
great.
that would be
Okay,
really
good.
fun. Okay. And then I guess my other question, which you sort of answered about the handoff, because Mary and Kathleen are following us. So maybe we can just text and meet you at the gate with the passes or something
Yeah,
simple.
but,
Okay.
Yeah.
That was it.
I will already have a pass. I will
Oh.
already have a pass. I always get a pass every year.
Okay. And Mary will text, you can text us or we'll text you and we'll hand it.
And
We're
try
going to
and
stay at
check-
the fair, but
always check at the music house possibly first, because we have the passes done in such a way that as long as you return them, the shift after, it won't be the next shift, but the shift after that will have the
Okay.
pass. So in other words, it's still best. My only thinking about handoffs was those places that have those shifts that may have almost all of the passes. But we'll figure that out as we go along. But the bottom line is that all the passes should be taken back to the music house, because the number of passes is set up so that there will always be at least 2 available in that basket.
because we're going to stay at the fair probably to go. There's the horse show is on Saturday, so we're going to stay after our shift. I love the horses.
Well, then in that case, to give your pass to somebody who can either get it back to the basket or get it to the next shift.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll give you. I'll send you my cell phone number.
Well, actually, you're
and,
there. You're on Saturday, right?
yeah, we're Saturday morning.
Okay, so you Saturday folks will get that all sorted out.
Yeah, we'll sort it out.
We have Mary's phone.
We have Mary's phone number and probably Kathleen. So
Yeah, Kathleen, you have something to add?
I was just gonna tag on to Kat, but Wendy had her hand up before me, so.
Okay,
Did-
Wendy,
uh,
you're muted.
Yeah, it's
you're
more
not
for
prepared
Kat,
for
but could you send us the petition? Because Compression Free Franklin is also like very, very active in it. I want to show it to them as well. And did we decide that it's going to be at the booth or no?
We haven't
Kathleen,
actually,
That's what I was speaking to.
We're working on that one.
yeah,
You're
well,
always a step ahead of me, Wendy.
let's deal with that after this meeting because this is just about staffing.
I understand that. I just want to tell Kat, since she's here, and everybody else, that we will decide whether or not we're going to have it at the booth. And if it's there, encourage people to sign it. If it's not, tell people about it, and they can sign it elsewhere. But I'm going to send out an email to our executive committee and get a vote on it, Kat. Okay? All right.
Great.
That's it. No more.
Cool. Okay, Lisa.
Oh, I was going to say, if you decide that you are going to have it at the booth, could you give me a copy of the petition so that I can include it in the packet that goes to the staffers so they have an opportunity to read and get up to speed with it. So if people ask, they're not like caught short.
It sounds to me, Mary, like we're done for the recording part, and then we can continue the conversation on these other things. Does that make sense? That
Yeah.
people have to watch this to not, get sidetracked.
Does anyone have any other remaining questions about staffing?
Okay, I'm going to stop record.